Hello and welcome to the Lazy Hardworker Prep Plan for the Cat. And you might be wondering, so what are you talking about? Someone who's a lazy hardworker. How can he be both? You can be. So when I talk about laziness, laziness comes from the attitude during planning. And hardworking is actually when you are actually studying. So this is when you're doing stuff. That is when hardworking. So you might be wondering, so lazy plan means are you not planning? Everything will be clear. Just hold on. Okay. Now, actually, if you think about it, laziness is not that bad in one sense. If you look at all the innovations that we have made, imagine the remote. Why did we create a remote? This is amazing stuff. Why? Because we don't want to walk till there and switch on something. But why do we have these phones? But why do we have a phone? The only reason why we have a phone is we're lazy to go and talk to someone. See, a lot of great inventions is because we are lazy. Fundamentally, naturally, we want to do everything in shortcut. But can we not use this to our advantage? Now, if I am a lazy hard worker and I'm thinking of taking the cat, right? How do I plan it? That's a thought. Now, the way in which I would plan it is starting with the objective here for a lazy hard worker is not to become great mathematician or great in English literature. No. We just want to game the test. I'm using the word game. Except we just want to somehow do well in the test, whatever it takes, with the least amount of hard work. Lot of hard work, but least amount of hard work. We want to game the test. So if I'm a lazy hard worker, what is the first thing that I will do? I need to understand the test. Therefore, I'm going to start with a diagnostic test. That's what we're going to start with, a diagnostic test. What do we mean by diagnostic test? Simply taking one of the previous year's CAT paper. Not just within time limit. Once I've taken within the time limit, the next thing I want to do is take the test once again to get a much more deeper understanding of the particular test. And once I've done it, I understood certain things. The CAT has got 3 sections. We all know that. That is not a problem. We have got VRC. We have got DLR. We have got QA. And in this VRC, there are 24 questions. DLR, there is 20 questions. QA, there is 22 questions, totaling 66 questions. I've also realized that we are not supposed to, it's not like we have to get all the 66 questions correct. Practically, we have to fail in the exam. I mean, when was the last time we got 40%? When was the last time we actually got 27%, 30%? I mean, so if I look at the last year's CAT, right? What was 99 percentile? What about 76 marks last year? Year before that, maybe about 90, then about 100. But basically, last year was about 25 out of 66. That's not even 50%. So let's assume that I want to net get about 30 plus questions net correct. Okay. But that's a big deal. Lazy person is very excited. Okay. All right. Okay. So then, we got to dig a little deeper in terms of what this area is. I've understood what is being asked in this VRC. Okay, there is 4 RC passages multiplied by 4 questions, and there are that is 16 questions. Then there is 8 VA questions. That 8 VA question come from couple of paragraph jumble, couple of paragraph summary questions, couple of paragraph completion questions, couple of odd sentence in a paragraph questions. All right, that's what I see. Okay, in DLR, what do we have? We have got 4 sets with about 5 questions each. That's what we see. And the QA is about 22 single questions on topics I believe that I've done somewhere in my 10th standard. Maybe during that period of time I didn't really like it, but this is something that I've learned. This is not something that is new to me. Right? So, okay. Now, once I look at this, how do I start creating a plan? Now, this planning process that I'm going to do for my preparation is going to be absolutely lazy plan, which means I have to just focus on the things that is deeply, truly important for my prep. So, let's look at what does it entail. One element that I believe would be the question about prior knowledge. Do I need a prior knowledge before coming to the examination hall? Before entering the exam hall, before entering the hall, do I have to carry some knowledge? Now, when I look at something like a QA, yes, I need. There is a question that starts about ortho center. What is an ortho center? I don't know. So I have to, then I'm doomed. So before entering the examination hall, I might have to carry some knowledge. That is one. The second is I got to have some skills. before entering the exam hall, I have to carry with myself some skill as well. Now imagine when I read the reading comprehension passage, I read the passage, I read the first paragraph, I don't know what's going on. I'm in the second paragraph, I'm lost. In the third paragraph, I'm almost thinking, how did I reach here? In the fourth paragraph, songs are happening in my head. I somehow read the paragraph. I go to the question. What is this question? And then I look at the four answer choices. Everything seems to be correct. And then I did some little bit of effort and maybe eliminate two answer choices. I have no idea. Out of these two answer choices, which one is it? Both seems to be absolutely right. So I need skill. Then I'm also thinking, there are these 24 questions of VRC. There is 8 questions of VA, which probably I can do in about 1.5 minutes per question. That's about 12 minutes. 40 minutes, 12 minutes gone. What remains is 28 minutes. 4 RCs I have to do in 28 minutes. That's 7 minutes per RC. I need skill. Oh, that skill, so the knowledge takes time to develop. Skill takes time to develop. Since I'm lazy, I want to understand what is a specific skill that I need to develop. But by and large, I need to understand. Okay, let's start by area. Let's start with VRC. What is the prior knowledge that I need? What prior knowledge do I really need to answer any of this question? I'm basically thinking none. I mean, every answer is there in the paper. Reading comprehension is an open book test. The answer is there in the passage. How will I know about the passage before entering the hall? Now you might say, sir, but vocabulary. But CAT is not testing vocabulary, but vocabulary does help. If I'm writing, the prior knowledge of vocabulary is needed. I'm lazy. I want to game the test, but I'm lazy. I'm hardworking, but I'm lazy. I'm also smart. So if I realize, okay, I got to handle vocab. If I realize that is an area of concern, then if I'm going to attack it, then what I'm thinking is, how many words should I learn? Okay, should I learn about 6,000 words? But let's listen one. How much time do I require per word? I mean, it's about 2 seconds to read a word, but eventually, for it to get in my head, I have to look at some etymology and some usages and probably revise the word, do some flashcards. You have flashcards and a word written, and then I have to engage with the word maybe about a couple of minutes at least, maybe 3 minutes. If I'm engaging there, that is 18,000 minutes I have to spend to build my vocabulary. 18,000 minutes divided by about how many hours I'm talking? I'm talking about what? I'm talking about 300 hours. Now I could cut it down to 200, 100, maybe 30 hours. I don't know. I could do 30 hours of work. But I'm asking, why should I do this? I'm lazy. Is it needed? No. I'll have to figure out a way to, if I kind of understand what is needed for me is to understand the passages, I could be a better way to do things. Why can't I build it around comprehension? Why can't I just read articles? What kind of article will I read? Why don't I just read the articles that is there, that comes, or at least from the sources that comes in the CAT? Well, the point that I'm saying is that I'm going to assume that no prior knowledge is required for me to do the VRC. But my goodness, the skill requirement is absolutely high. Oh, I have to do 2 things. I need to understand the passage. I have to deal with the question setter. This is high. This is going to be important things. A lot of my hard work may not be about building prior knowledge. A lot of my hard work that I'm going to do in VRC is to develop my skill, my reading skill, my comprehension skill, my ability to evaluate paragraphs, because 8 questions are essentially about paragraphs. That's a skill that I got to do. All right, great. And I go to DLR. I look at DLR. Do I require knowledge? I mean, I need to understand how to interpret graphs. Okay, that's not a knowledge. Okay, that's a skill. I mean, a little bit of maths is required, but what is maths? We need to know 4 things: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Anything else I'm doing? Not really. I mean, A little bit of maths maybe. I need to understand concept of percentage. But what after all is percentage? Percentage is simply multiplication as a mathematical operations. Maybe a little bit of concept on permutations, combination could come, and numbers, and they're dealing with, for example, knowledge of prime numbers may come in handy in some of the sets. Maybe about set theory. Yes. So I would say limited amount of prior knowledge is required for DLR. Not huge, but limited amount of prior knowledge. But is again high on skill. When I say skill, I mean, this DLR looks like I'm playing some sort of a game, like Sudoku or Rubik's Cube. Now, what I know about these games is that these are not necessarily a game of intellect. These are a game of process. But what I mean by process, I mean, you've seen a lot of people playing Rubik's Cube. I'm very good at it, of course. But there is a method to that madness. No, there is step 1, there is step 2, this is the first objective, this is the second objective, this is the third objective. Then they do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again, become expert in that particular area. That's the same with Sudoku. I mean, if you're playing the game of Sudoku, there are various skills in the process in which you can handle it, writing the numbers on top and right, and you can do many stuff. So here, what is needed, of course, the skill is high. It's high skill, and this skill is also about understanding the process and doing this. This is kind of absolutely important. But the prior knowledge is limited. That is also the reason when you have very skill heavy stuff, trying to create chapters for this is very difficult. Have you imagined any books in terms of what is chapter number 1 on reading comprehension? It's difficult. What is really chapters of data and logical? What is really the chapters? And you could create a chapter as bar chart is a chapter, pie chart is a chapter, but it's more or less the same thing only. It's about data being represented. It's kind of difficult, but that's okay. But when it comes to QA, prior knowledge requirement is high. But at least something that I've done in my 10th standard, not that I've forgotten. Maybe I'll have to relearn many things. So if I don't know stuff, now how am I going to solve these questions? I need to know stuff. So for QA, as a lazy planner, I'm saying that I need to have prior knowledge of math concept. But do I need some skills? If I have the knowledge to solve a particular question, I should follow the step and solve it. But I also think, as a lazy guy, some skills are useful. I'm just, for example, to highlight, I've picked this particular question just to highlight a skill. A square is inscribed in a circle. Square is inscribed in a circle, and the circle is inscribed in an octagon. Find the ratio of area of a square to that of the octagon. At this point in time, the prior knowledge that I require is to know the area of a square, which I know side square. Area of octagon, oh God, what do I do? And if I rely on prior knowledge, I am guessing that I'm not going to solve this question. But if I'm going to rely a little bit of skills, okay, let me just, what do you mean can't say? Of course you can say. But these are all what? Regular stuff, no? Regular octagon, square. So when I look at this, what is square root of 2? Square root of 2 is 1.4. 1.4 plus 1 is 2.4. 2.4 divided by 4. 0.6. This is basically saying that's about 60%. What is this saying? 2 root 2. Root 2 is 1.4. 1.4 into 2, it's 2.8. 2.8 minus 1. 2.8 minus 1 is 1.8. 1.8 divided by 4, that's about 0.45. That is saying 45%. And root 2 minus 1, this is what? 1.4. 1.4 minus 1 is 0.4. 0.4 divided by 4 is 10%. Visually, when I look this visually, this is what percentage? कितना दिख रहा है यार? 10% दिख रहा है ये उसका, नहीं दिख रहा है ना? 45, 50% ज़्यादा है ना यार. Half of this octagon का half is this much, no? उससे ज़्यादा तो दिख रहा है यार. ये तो नहीं होगा, ये होना चाहिए. ऐसा करके why can't we solve? By looking And you might even go, sir, what are you saying? Yes, I'm saying I don't know prior knowledge, but I can still answer this particular question. Okay, let me also look to one thing. Okay, if you're worried about this, so let's look one thing. First of all, what knowledge do I have? The prior knowledge that I have is I understand the area of a square. I also know the area of circle. That also I understand. I understand the area of circle also. Pi r square. But what I realize is, look, what is really this octagon? The extra bit of side is only into small pieces are there. So this octagon is approximately equal to the circle. So if I just take this to be, I don't know, let's take this distance to be equal to 1. This distance will be equal to, this will be root 2. Okay, the area of a square will be, this side is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 square is 4. 4 divided by, or is ratio, area of a circle, this is root 2 is the radius. Pi r square, pi into root 2 square is 2 pi. Pi is what? 3. You say 3.3, approximately 3. 3 into 2 is 6. 6. This is about 2 by 3. That's about 66%. The actual answer should be close to about 66%. There you go. I'm basically saying that whatever is the prior knowledge that I'm going to build, that may not be enough. Or therefore I need to know some skill. That skill I'm going to call a skill of jugaad. It is not shortcut. It is about using whatever knowledge that I have and using that to answer whatever question that they give. That skill is also important. But we are talking about getting about net 30 questions correct. The rest 22 questions. What if net 30 questions across the 3 area, more than 30 of course, okay, if you want to get really high percentiles. So if I look at across the 3, what if I can, through sheer jugaad, what if I can knock out about 6 questions out? That's a skill. I am basically thinking, I'm just thinking that if by sheer jugaad, I can get about 6 questions out, and all I need is a little bit of knowledge. Oh, I'm thinking this is very, very skill heavy. Knowledge requires one kind of preparation. Skill requires another kind of preparation. And yes, understanding that I need to have sort of concept building when it comes to QA. Oh, I got this. I am getting into my laziness zone. So now with that, how do I create sort of a plan? One simple solution that I could have is I'll just join a classroom or online course, which is great. I mean, hopefully the teacher there, the faculty there will take care of all these things and I don't have to bother. But even then, or maybe I'll pick up, let's say, some courses, I mean, small courses, and then do that, or maybe I'll do it on my own. That is a different question, right? That is not what I'm trying to answer here, okay? What I'm basically saying is, what is the plan that I would want to do? Let's start each one. Okay, let's start this. How do I kind of do VRC? The biggest problem that I actually see in VRC is what? Come on, I'm getting stuck in options. There is VRC, there is an evil question setter. The person who is setting the paper is looking at me and going like this. This is what I have to deal with. I have to deal with this man or a woman, depending upon who is setting the paper. I mean, even after understanding the passage really well, I'm still getting confused. I have to understand the passage also, but I have to deal with the question setter. On the day of the CAT, I have to understand the question setter. And if I want to game the test, and I have to deal with the traps set by the question setter. Now, which resource will I use? That's what I'm thinking. I'm lazy, but I also want to game the test. Which resource will I use? There are a lot of resources available. Okay. Now I have got a book. Who is a question setter who created the question in that book? The trap that the person who created this question, is it going to be the similar trap that I'm going to see in the actual test? I want to learn from him. has this person ever created some material which is available for me? Oh, yes, he has. Oh, yes, they have. It's called the previous year's question. If I look at from CAT 2017 to 2023, okay, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2 slots, 34 questions in total in VRC. There were 24 questions of reading comprehension. Out of the 5 passages, right? 5 passages in slot 1, 5 passages in slot 2, 10, 10, 10. That is 30. 2020, 21, 22, 23. In 4 years, there were 3 slots, 4 passages each. That 4 is 12 into 4 is 48. 48 plus 30, that's 78 questions. Oh, in the previous year's paper, P by P, I'm going to call it P by P, past year papers. Oh, I can get about 78 RCs. Wonderful. What about these VA questions? Okay, there is 10, that's 20, 20 into 3 is 60, then 8 3 is 24, 24 into 4 is 96, 96 plus 60 is 156 VA questions. Oh, this is gold. This is gold, because I can understand this person. I'm lazy, but I'm also hardworking. I want to game the test. So I'm going to look at this and go, I want to learn. I'm not going to take this as mock test. I want to learn from this particular test. I might at this point in time decide maybe I need some help in terms of building the skills, how to read a passage. I could probably pick some courses, that's fine. Or just sit in the classroom and then listen to your faculty and do all that. But listen to one person. Don't listen, because these are skills, right? Everybody will have a different approach to developing skills. So whoever you listen to, stick to that particular person and then apply it to the previous year's paper. This is amazing. What about DLR? Which is the most amazing set. Whatever it is, I have to handle. Again, the CAT has given DLR sets. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2 slots, 8 sets each. 2020 is 5 sets, 3 slots. 2021, 4 sets, 3 slots. 22, same 4 sets, 3 slots. 23, 4 sets in 3 slots. Total is 99 sets. Again, in previous year paper, I have got 99 sets. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, what if I do? What is the problem that I might have in this 99 set, which is not in reading comprehension? Reading comprehension, after all, there's no chapters. I mean, you can just solve these 78 questions in any order that you want and learn from them. 99 sets, so probably there is some set theory question, there is this, there is that. I might have a little bit of struggle in the beginning, so maybe I need an intervention, a small intervention in the beginning in terms of understanding the process of various kind of things. So maybe, hopefully, if you join into some class in your classroom, maybe that is happening in the class, or if you got some book that you're using, maybe that, or some courses that you picked up, they will help you understanding the process. For me, these 99 sets are gold. Oh, they are gold. Oh, they are gold. I mean, I could also do the same with Quant. The intervention is to understand how to read a particular passage here. That's the intervention, how to read a passage, how to deal with paragraph jumble, paragraph summary question, and then learn from each of these. There is some intervention. I need to have a heavy intervention that is happening in QA, because I need to relearn all the concepts, every single thing. I am lazy. So one of the things that coming to my mind is, okay, look, there are these QA, there is majority of the questions come from arithmetic. Maybe I'll just study arithmetic, but I also understand I'm lazy. If I just focus on arithmetic and algebra, what if there are difficult questions in arithmetic and algebra and easy questions somewhere in geometry, easy question lying around in numbers? I want to solve easy questions. I'm not in love with arithmetic or anything. I will do all the concepts that I need to understand. If you're in a classroom, great, you're learning there. If you are on your own, then you've got whatever resources to do it. If you've taken specific courses for it, whatever it is, you're learning concepts. But then I've got these questions with me. So what you get in there is about 450 odd questions from the previous year's CAT paper, I'm talking about 2017 onwards. You can even go beyond that. It's about 450 odd questions, very close to about 500 questions. These are gold. This is amazing. This is amazing. I will do some basic interventions. Okay, this is amazing. Okay, now I got to get the skills. I need to get these skills, jugaad skills. This is important. What is other resource that I got to use? Is there anything else I have to use? Okay, what do I do? I've got some books. Okay, I'm lazy and I want to game the test. So there are some books available, but I'm actually going, wait, okay, I'm developing skills. Okay, I need to, okay, books would probably be helpful in terms of building concepts and stuff. That is okay, that's fine. So I'll basically do whatever limited that is needed for me to build those concepts. That is fine. But so I don't know when was the last time they revised this book. I look at these passages in this book. It's about 1,000 words. I look at the cat passages. That's about 500 words. I mean, this is the same skill, but then I would want something that is probably very, 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 very close to this previous year. But I want somebody to create this content this year. Then they can incorporate whatever changes that happened in the cat in 2023 and so on and so forth. I want somebody to do that now. Is there anything that is available for me? Is there anything? Yes, there is. Oh, there is. What are these mocks? The latest ones. Latest mocks. Oh, that is important. It's going to help me here. It's going to help me there. It's going to help me there. You might say at this point in time, sir, my concept building in maths is still going on. But wait a minute. I can still do some jugaad. I can still learn those skills. The skills going to take time. I have to do probably one every week. The mock, I mean, what kind of syllabus is there in each thing? Mocks to me is absolutely important. This is great. If I, for example, look at the mock and let's say take about 30, because I also want to learn, I want to do analysis in the actual examination when I'm taking a mock test, right? So I'm under pressure, but I want to also redo all the questions without any time limit, learn from each one of these. There would be video solution available. I probably will go and listen to the teacher solving the questions. I want to engage really well in each mock. I'm lazy, but I'm also hardworking. I want to game the test. So if I've got 30, how many RCs are we doing in this 30? There are 4 RCs. We've got 120 RCs. Oh, how many VA questions are we talking about? This is 30. 8 3s are 24. 240 VA questions we get. Okay, great. How many DLR sets I'm talking about? 34, 120 DLR sets I'm saying. 120, 30. On an average, every single paper has got 20 questions. 22, in fact, let's count 20. Almost about 600 questions. Okay. What am I learning? My key learning. What's going on here? If I count these put together, I am actually putting together these two put together. I'm looking at close to about how much? About 80 to 200 reading comprehension passages. I'm also 250, the 350, about 400, roughly close to 400 VA questions. Okay, what am I dealing with this? This about almost about 220 DLR sets, 220 sets. What am I looking at this? I am probably looking at absolute gold mine of 1,000 questions. यार इतना करने के बाद क्या क्लियर नहीं होगा ना, कोई फायदा क्या है यार? फायदा क्या है? Okay, let's say a lot of people come and tell me, sir, I solved 50 passages, my score has not improved, so I'm going to solve 50 more. ये एक सेकंड, 50 पैसेज किया तूने, स्कोर इंप्रूव नहीं हुआ, और 50 करके क्या होगा? What is going to change? क्या होने वाला है यार? क्या एक्स्ट्रा करोगे यार? 50 से निकालना चाहिए ना यार. If I actually think about it, in terms of the time that I'm going to spend here for each of these, which are deep kind of things. So each sets I'm looking at, each sets maybe about half an hour, maybe slightly more, 45 minutes maybe. I'm going to solve it once, maybe during the mock. I'm counting the time of the mock also. I'm doing the mock. I'm going to redo the set once again, and I really want to look at the solutions. If there are video solutions available, I'm sure that there is available to mocks. I'm going to look at that solution as well. I'm going to learn from it. So maybe about 45 minutes, maybe about half an hour. That's about 150 hours. So I'm looking at about this itself is worth about 150 hours of effort if you genuinely want to put the effort. And what about this 200 RCs and this 400 VA questions? 200 RC, same thing, maybe about half an hour per RC, 100 hours, another, this about 150 hours again. 1,000 questions. I also need to learn Jugaad. I'm going to solve I'm going to solve it really well. I don't know, each question maybe about 6 minutes, maybe 12 minutes per question, 12,000 minutes. Multiply by 60, is probably going to take about 200 hours. What my effort? This activity in itself, if I'm thinking, that's about what? It's about roughly about 500 hours. And maybe if I have to do this kind of concepts, that I have to do about 30 chapters, multiplied by about what, 3 hours per chapter, that's about 100 hours. I'm basically counting about 600 hours doing this only. I've taken on the higher side. Okay, there's probably realistically I could still do it in about 100 hours. I can do it in about 100 hours. And realistically, I can probably do it in about 150 hours, and I probably will be able to do it in about another 100 hours. So it's probably coming close to about, let's say, about 450 hours, all put together. This is much more a realistic estimate, about 450 hours. 450 hours of work is what I got to put to do well. Okay, I forgot, while I'm recording this, my face will be here. So let me put it this way. So sort of a more realistic one, this would be probably about what, to 200, 300, 350, about 400, about this is about 450 hours. It's probably what it itself would be this. And you have to understand, you have 450 hours only, na. This is kind of the time that you have with you. This is the time that you have with you. Now, if you decide to do a lot of unnecessary things, then that's it. And 450 hours, let's start with June, July, August, September, October, November. That's about 680 days. Yeah, about 180 days. If you have about 180 days. So sorry, what's going on? Yeah, there you go. About 180 odd days. If I take about 150 days itself, if 150 days, then that's about roughly about 3 hours on an average per day, or on a weekly basis 20 hours per week. इतना तो निकाल सकते ना यार, इतना तो हो जाएगा यार, if you do the right things. When I say planning is lazy, I did not say it's going to be easy. This is what I think. What do you think?